Good evening, everybody.
Recording in progress.
Let's go ahead. We were in the chapter registration. So we have done couple of sections also, na, bachcho, all of you. Tell me, isn't it? Everybody. 22, 23, 24. Done or not done? Then liable for registration. Correct. As per what? Turnover. Then not liable for registration. Correct, everybody. And then compulsory registration. Yes, that also we had covered. Okay, we were already in section 24. Correct. Okay. Procedure for registration, na, that we were doing. In that, then have we covered anything else? Let's go. Let's do the cases. Where were we? Voluntary, that is okay. This is also okay. ठीक है. Ready, everybody? PAN is necessary. Only one exception is what? NRTP, non-resident taxable person. What did we discuss about NRTP? Little bit that there are two people, CTP and NRTP, casual taxable and non-resident taxable person. What did we understand? That they don't have a permanent place of business in India. Who? NRTP. And CTP bachcho doesn't have one fixed place of business in India. They keep on traveling and do the business. Okay, fine. Okay. So we're just discussing again modes of getting the registration. Seventh, suo motu, pay attention. Suo motu, registration by the proper officer. So we discussed about what is proper officer. Again, your officer in GST law. Okay, CGST, that is proper officer. Just like we have income tax officer in income tax, here we have proper officer. Okay, everybody. So suo motu, registration by proper officer. Even in income tax, we had a little bit of provision that the officer, income tax officer, AO, let us say, can allot a PAN to a person who is required to obtain a PAN. So if the officer comes to know about certain transaction on which PAN should be obtained or PAN is required to be furnished, officer bachchu can order or officer can request that PAN should be issued. Similarly here, in all of the earlier cases, check here. Because of one of the other reasons, the assessee or taxpayer is applying for GST registration number. Here, the officer is allotting a GST registration number. Check. Pay attention, important. Where pursuant to means because of any survey, inquiry, inspection, search, or any other proceedings under the Act, the proper officer finds that a person liable to the registration under the Act has failed to comply for such registration, then such officer may register the said person on a temporary basis. Why? At least immediately or from the next day, the assessee, I'm using the word assessee or taxpayer, can start collecting taxes legally, because he was liable to register. Now he is liable to register. He has not yet applied. We don't know when will he apply. And then again when we'll get the registration number. Again, it may take a little bit of gap or some time. So instead of that, the proper officer can temporarily allot a registration number based on which the taxpayer can charge taxes. Clearly, all of you? And it opened and it was doing quite well, very nicely. And after 6-8 months, he comes to us. After that, he came to us and he said, there is some officer come to our department. I mean, come to our restaurant. And because of that, you have to apply for VAT. You help us in VAT registration. I'm like, okay, but why did he come in first place? He said he had come for some search, some kind of search and seizure to a nearby office in the same complex. Nearby office in the same complex. Some builder, etc. And after the work was done, he just came here and then he thought, the officer actually thought, that is a kind of a new restaurant. Okay, he inquired here and there, new businesses which have come up. And then he saw the books of accounts. He's an officer. He demanded to see books of accounts. He has the power. He saw the sales and turnover, etc. He said, this is beyond the threshold limit. Okay? This is beyond the threshold limit, bacho. Yes, Celia. If you remember Schedule 2, can you tell me? Restaurant comes under which category? Goods or services? Good evening, Yash. How are you? It comes under both, but Schedule 2 gives you bifurcation only between goods and services, na? हाँ ना? Fine. So depending whether it is goods or services, okay. So I mean that in that case, VAT wala case, VAT, the officer said this is beyond the turnover limit. You have to be registered, and you have not. So that was again we were levied a penalty that time. Okay, that client was levied a penalty. So same thing happens here. So because of any search, survey, seizure, or whatever, the officer finds that he is liable to be registered, he can give a temporary registration number. Okay. Can you go ahead? Such person shall either pay attention. Such person means the person on whom that order is given to, and the person who is given the temporary registration number. Okay. Such person shall either submit an application for registration in specified form within 90 days from the date of grant of temporary registration, or he's saying that I am not liable. There is again misinterpretation, miscommunication, or wrong understanding by the officer. I am not liable. So he's saying file an appeal against such temporary registration. Is it okay, everybody? Majority of the cases will be first case only, that the taxpayer has missed to apply for the registration. Okay, in majority of the cases. But here, again, if there is a wrong understanding between the officer and the taxpayer can say, I am not liable. There is a mistake from the officer's side. Okay. In case number 2, he is filing an appeal. Today only, but we did know the word appellate, correct? In negotiable instruments, we did know. Can you go ahead, everybody? In case number 2, if the appellate authority upholds the liability to registration, means decision is in whose favor? Department's favor. The decision is in department's favor. Okay. If the appellate authority upholds the liability to registration, application for registration shall be submitted within next 30 days of the order of the appellate authority. Simple till here. Is anything complicated till now till here? Nothing, no. Yes. So your officer is telling to get registered. He give the registration number. You may either accept it or reject it. If you accept it, you have to formally, properly, legally apply for registration number, okay, through the regular process. If you don't accept it, you can appeal, and again, if the decision is in the favor of taxpayer, the registration is cancelled. If the decision is in the favor of the GST department, then again you have to properly again apply within 30 days of the court order. Okay, chalo. Provisions relating to verification and issue of registration certificate shall apply to such applications submitted by the person granted temporary registration. That is okay, no problem. Just underline this word, this sentence over here. GST-IN, that means the final GST number which you are going to get, granted, shall be effective from the date of officer granting temporary registration. Did you understand or bouncer? See, GST officer gave a temporary registration number. Is it okay, everybody? Fine till here. On one particular date, whenever he had checked the taxpayer, and in future because of you are accepting it, or because of the appellate authority order, you are now applying properly. Are you understanding or no? You have to apply now properly. He gave you temporarily, but then you have to apply properly. Is it okay? Now whenever you applied and you got the registration number, that registration number is effective from the date when the temporary registration number was given. Again, is it okay till here? Logical? In a way, it is kind of a backdated effective. Okay? कुछ समझा कि नहीं, all of you? This temporary बच्चों, I can also call it as, okay, this temporary बच्चों, I can also call it as a provisional registration number. What do you mean by provisional? Tell me this. Provisional means what, बच्चों? It is not final, correct? Isn't it? It is not final. So the officer बच्चों gave a temporary registration number. Based on that, you charge taxes, etc. है ना? Based on that number. But that number was not permanent number. Okay? So you applied for a proper number, proper registration number, and you got the number. That number is not effective from this date only, the date from when you applied or the date from when you got it. That number will be assumed or deemed that it is effective from the date when you had taken or when you had got the temporary registration number. Tell me, understood? Nitin, Kushbu, Indrajit, Mansi, Akshay, all of you tell me. Okay, till here. Basically backdated. Assume now you went to a school or college and they have given you a temporary, you paid the fees, let us say. They gave you a temporary I card and then after 2 weeks they gave you a permanent I card. Then were you not student that they gave you temporary I card? You were, na? So you were a student, or it will be deemed or assumed that was effective from the first day itself. Okay? Procedure for registration. Section 25 read with rules 8, 9, 10. So application for registration. Verification of application means taxpayer applying, verification from the department side, and approval and issue of the certificate. Okay? Are contained in rules 8, 9, 10 respectively. The same have to be read with in conjunction with section 25. Procedure. The same procedure is applicable for person paying tax under composition scheme or every person seeking voluntary registration as well. So, or even a casual taxable person, that is okay. With that we will see. However, the procedure so laid down will not apply to NRTP or a person required to do TDS or TCS or OIDAR. So that forget that right now. So normally, now pay attention. You went now what? There are just one single, that is not given here. One single number. Such person shall apply for registration in phone number GST REG 01. REG registration. Is it okay? The app name, email ID. That is the first basic thing. And sometimes you want to get registered, you put a mobile number and you'll get an OTP. At least you can start the account. Do you remember this? I mean, this is how it works. Yes or no? Agreed or no? Yeah, na? Same thing. Always first, you look at ICA registration number on your website. ICA registration website. When you started first time your profile, I do these things all every 6 months for the students. First thing they ask is only mobile number and email ID. So they confirm the communication details, and then on that communication, other things can be asked and given, isn't it? Fine. So this other thing, other paragraph remain. Forget it. Application for registration by SEZ. SEZ, okay, unit. What is obviously what SEZ? Special economic zone is a geographical bound zone where economic laws relating to export and import are a little bit liberal. They are mainly done to exempt them from taxes so that you can increase the production in that particular area. You know? It is given to promote a particular area. है कि नहीं बच्चों? As compared to other parts of the country. SEZ is underline this word, very, 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 very important. SEZ is considered to be a place outside India for all tax purposes. Understood or no? SEZ is considered to be a place outside India for all tax purposes. Important. It is considered. Is it in India? Actually, physically, yes. It is an area, na bachcho? Are you getting my point? We had discussed this is in income tax. What is the bachcho area called other than SEZ? Tell me quickly. What is the area called other than SEZ? Don't tell me you don't know the full form also. Domestic tariff area. Are हाँ या ना? Did you understand or no, everybody? अरे बोलो बच्चों. So now if I'll just try to understand, they are in. If there is a sale from DTA to SEZ, it will be deemed as export. हाँ या ना? It will be deemed as export. Understood clear all of you? Clear till here? because it is to be deemed as a place outside India. Now from SEZ, if you go to actual outside India, or from SEZ but you sell in DTA, okay, will be treated as import. SEZ to DTA, है कि नहीं? Finally, but now understand, for SEZ, is that not a good thing, let us say, from input, this from cost point of view, from cash flow point of view? If there is a supply from DTA to SEZ, will DTA charge tax? Any supplier in DTA but will charge a tax? No, because it is export. Now if the material is for 100 rupees, he will raise an invoice of 100 rupees, isn't it? But if there was a sale from DTA to DTA, what would have happened? 100 rupees plus 18 rupees tax. See, you can claim credit, this and that is okay, but it affects your cash flow or no, working capital. Isn't it, everybody? So that is again helpful for SEZ. Again, no headache or no compliances only. Okay, because it is treated as deemed as a place outside India. Clear to here, all of you? Done? And 10AA, I hope you remember from income tax. Again, they were given the tax exemption, income tax exemption. Right now we are in GST. है कि नहीं? Clear? Chalo. So a person having unit in SEZ, or you are an SEZ developer, okay, will have to make a star mark this 3 star. Will have to make a separate application for registration as distinct from his place of his business located outside SEZ in the same state. In the same state. That means, bachcho, if you are in, let us say, in state of Maharashtra, okay, and you have one branch here, one branch here, one branch here, okay, and one branch here, and this is but your SEZ. Are you getting my point? Okay. Or before I start another branches, let us say you have one branch in DTA and one branch in SEZ. You will compulsory have to take 2 registrations. Compulsory. Okay. Are you getting my point, all of you? So if you have a branch in SEZ, bachcho, in the same state also, same state, bachcho, you'll have to take a registration. Okay, so SEZ, bachcho, always a separate registration. Clear till here? Are you na? There may be a case where 2 branches of a taxpayer are in the same state duty, one in SEZ and another in DTA. Bachcho, in that case, separation have to be obtained for each of the branches, okay, as separate place of businesses. Is it clear? Pakka na? Okay. I hope you're giving star marks also with me. Can I go ahead? Akshay, all okay? Akshay? Chalo. Suvarna Industries is engaged in manufacturing activities in UP. Okay? It has 2 manufacturing plants in UP. One in SEZ, another outside SEZ under GST. We require 1 registration per state. However, since this case, if one of the units bachcho is an SEZ will have to compulsory take a separate registration. Hai na? As a place of business distinct or different from the DTA unit. Same thing they have repeated. They don't directly ask you based on this, but okay, let's go through this also. Your registration process, okay? Procedure for registration has been shown in the below diagram, depicted by way of a diagram below. Okay, your form REG01 is part, it has 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Find it here? Part A and part B. Ready? Shall, before applying for registration, declare his PAN, mobile number, email ID, state, union, territory in part A. What do you see, bachcho, generally? As such, what are you seeing in part A? Only what? PAN and communication details. So PAN, mobile number, email ID, that's it. Hai na? And the state, obviously, from where for which he wishes the registration. Is it okay? Now PAN, mobile and email are validated. PAN bachcho will be validated through income tax department automatically, internally. Check. So PAN is validated online by common portal. Common portal, your GST common portal, okay? From CBD database. And mobile number and email are verified to OTP. TRN, temporary reference number, is generated and communicated to the applicant. and a validated mobile number as well as email ID. Yes, Celia? Now this is your TRN for this mobile and this email ID. Temporary reference number. Using TRN, applicant shall electronically submit application in part B of the application form along with specified documents at the common portal. Part B of application contains, now pay attention, what does part B have? Pay attention, na bachcho. Details as constitution of business. Constitution of business means it is proprietorship, partnership, LLP, company, firm, partners, this and that. Jurisdiction area. Are you applying under composition scheme? Date of starting of business. Reason for obtaining registration. Voluntary, compulsory, intrastate. So 22 or 24 or what? Address of principal place of business. See, there is one branch or one unit which we call it as principal place of business. Another all the branches as additional places of business. Okay. And nature of activity carried out therein, details of additional places of business, bank details, details of authorized signatory who is going to sign all the documentation, etc. Other authentication, etc. Fine, till here, all of you. All of that will be done. On receipt of such application, an acknowledgement in the prescribed form shall be issued to the applicant electronically. That yes, we have received even after, even your part B we have received. So application we have received. Okay. CTP which we will do later on only. I mean, properly will do. I mean we have to do it in detail. CTP. The application which will be go to directly to a proper officer. The procedure after receipt of application by proper officer is given in part 2. This is okay till here? Where did the application go? Electronic bacho online to a proper officer, and that proper officer is going to check or scrutinize the details whether everything is okay or not. Yes, till here? All right. Another headache. Okay, ready? Okay, chalo. Proper officer examines application and accompanying. Question can be asked, cannot be asked, nobody can guarantee. Okay? At least once we will read. So basic question can be asked. Basic 7 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, and all of that. Proper officer examines application and pay attention. We'll first of all go in the logical form, whatever in the normal process, where everything is okay. Okay? So proper officer examines the application and accompanying documents. Look at this point, accompanying documents. Today only on our that WhatsApp group of CAs, practicing CA we were discussing, that officers at times purposely are holding the application forms just to extract some money. At times that happens. Or even if you upload a rent agreement, they say no, a notarized rent agreement will not do. You have to register the rent agreement online. I think we had seen that somewhere. You can register the rent agreement also, bacho, online. Only those registered rent agreements are valid in court. We had done that maybe in house property chapter, maybe. Okay. But rent agreement also, bacho, needs to be registered online. Only that copy they entertain here under GST application forms. Why? Because they see people give lots of fake addresses or fake details or fake documentation. That's why we insist on only online registered rent agreement copy. Okay. Anyways, is the same everything found in order? In order means everything is okay as per the opinion of the officer. Okay. If yes, then pay attention. So he has no queries, no inquiries, no communication back with the applicant. No. So within 7 working days from the date of submission of application, okay, without site verification. Site means bacho what? Lots of, here also bacho, correct, yes Indrajit, lots of fake application happens, lots of fake registration bacho happens. Just like in companies that we can create company for no purpose also, shell company, hai na? Main purpose what? Time pass, means hiding the money. Yes, still all of you. Similarly, people here The chapter registration, that's why it's important. People take lots of temporary, not temporary, voluntary, but fake registrations. Okay? What do you think, Bacho? Why people must be taking Bacho fake registrations? Or even if they are not liable, they are taking registrations? Correct. There is a good business about it. Okay? Good business. What business? I think I had explained, I don't know. Okay? If I like give you two options, okay? Seller A, seller B. Hi, Anna. Now let us say but your buyer is registered. I said what? Buyer is registered. If seller A is unregistered dealer, URD, remember I had written some time back on URD, what are we taking? Unregistered dealer. And let us say but B is registered dealer. Who do you think bacho buyer will prefer? Whatever may be the price, whatever price A is selling or B is selling. But bacho buyer is first of all going to he's going to bacho give preference to registered dealer. Why? Because then he can claim credit also, ITC. Yes, tell you all of you. Because he's going to claim ITC. URD is not going to charge. Agreed. Okay. But here buyer will again try to easily show whatever he has bought or whatever he has spent, he can claim that ITC also. Yes, still a credit. Now ITC bacho once he has paid or whatever, that helps in reducing the outflow also. And ITC reduces your outflow. Now understand. Seller bacho, okay? He is not required, let us say bacho. He is not required to register. He doesn't have any business also. Okay? Nothing. But issues a fake invoice of 100 rupees. I'm just giving you a simple example of 100 rupees. Alright, right till you. On plus on that, he's going to charge, let us say, 18 rupees. Correct? Fake invoice. Did the seller transfer or no credit to the buyer? Is the seller actually doing some business? No. Is it a sham or a shell company? Yes. The only purpose or the reason of creating this entity or registering it is what? To pass on the credit to whoever needs it, or basically your own group of companies, or for some certain commission. Completely obviously a fraud business, no doubt about it. Right? Now what is the benefit bacho to the buyer? Tell me. There are two benefits. I think we had discussed that in income tax maybe. But okay, you tell me bacho, what are the two benefits? Correct? One major benefit obviously is ITC. Without actually outflow of money, or maybe you'll show a bogus entry also, and then money will come back to you in cash or whatever. Or you have cash bacho. है ना? But you got free ITC. Right, Ilya? Yes, correct, Nitin. And the expenditure of 100 rupees booked. And right now, though, I'm taking 100 rupees only. What is the benefit then? What is the other benefit? Expenditure booked free of cost. Higher expenditure or unnecessary fake expenditure, lower income. Income tax, obviously, very good. So if I effectively write down this, my benefit bacho is of almost 48 rupees or 48% I can take, yeah, as a percentage also. Yes or no? Is it okay? Here bacho seller can easily ask for 5 to 10% as commission, easily. Whatever is the amount of invoice of that, 5 to 10% he can ask. Because the big risk, both are at risk as such, but the risk bacho will be of this person. Hi Anna. And even on buyer, for buyer bacho what can happen? If they're caught, they'll have to reverse all the ITC. Pay interest also on the same, okay? This happened again in our case, one of the cases. Again in service tax case. Now, you will also get that idea. Anybody can make a GST IN fake. Means what? Means because I told you that GST IN bachu follows this code. Okay? First two digits, first two digits, numbers, state code, then PAN, then entity. This will be nothing great. Last three digits will be nothing great. 01 or 02 max branch number, and then Z as a checksum character, that is again security number. I tell you this is my GST number. Or anybody can make a GST number then. But is that a real one? Is it authorized? Is it validated? Is it authentic? No. Are you getting my point or no? If I tell you to make a PAN, you can make a PAN because you know first four characters are alphabet, then again next four are numbers, and then again last is just a alphabet. And that this one also I told you what is P and what is M. Let us say, है ना? This also I told you. Correct, Leo? Now you may create a random this number properly, but that may not be the original or actual PAN, na bachcho. Clear, Leo? So that also used to happen. That people prefer working only with those people, those who are registered under GST. है कि नहीं? Is it okay? So even if you publish or print wrong GST IN, it is as good as you don't have a GST IN. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Clear till here? बोलो, ठीक है? Anyways, so within 7 working days, without site verification, pay attention, if applicant successfully bachcho validates his Aadhaar details. Now Aadhaar is more secure now. How to check? You can immediately check on GST website. Just enter the details. Check here. The first option itself you can see at the top. Next to downloads, search taxpayer. Check here. Can you see everybody? Search by GST IN, PAN, temporary ID, or search composite taxpayer also. Everything you can check. Okay? Can you go ahead, everybody? Check here. Taxpayers, normal or TDS or TCS taxpayers. Register now, or this again, like I said, here from here where will you go? Part B and Part B. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Clear? Check. Again, I don't have to go into this, but check. This is your Part A, everybody. Did we discuss TRN just now? Yes. You can start charging 1,000 rupees now. At least the basics one to apply for registration number. Just look for some clients, है ना? Did you do this normal taxpayer, tax deductor, collector, GST practitioner, NRTP, United Nations body, consulate or embassy of foreign country, again non-resident online service provider, your OIDAR? Correct? है ना? That is the reason you should बच्चों understand the basic law, है ना? Then it is very easy for just to follow them practically. Okay, everybody, can we go ahead, all of you? Okay. Fine. So understand, he will not do the site verification if Aadhaar authentication is successful. Okay? Validates is Aadhaar. This you understand, no? You understand Aadhaar authentication? Aadhaar based OTP. हाँ है ना? Correct, Ilya? Now Aadhaar is बच्चों more secure or no comparatively? At least the government has said ना, your photo, yeah, fingerprints, everything is given, है ना बच्चों? So you need to do बच्चों Aadhaar based verification. Okay, everybody? Then, in case where applicant fails to undergo or does not opt for Aadhaar authentication, or a proper officer deems it, or check, proper officer feels it fit to carry out site verification, he has a doubt, okay, verification is granted within 30 days of application after verification of site and prescribed documents. Did you understand? So here, but earlier we had 7 days. With application within 7 days, then approval without site verification. If other authentication done, if other authentication is not done, then within 30 days. But after site visit. So the responsibility or duty is put on the officer to go and check the site. Site means physical address, office. Clear? Can you go ahead? Chalo. If again, like I said, if everything is okay, proper officer will grant certificate बच्चों in GST RAG 06. Okay. So GST RAG 01 your application. Ration certificate बच्चों actually what 06. Okay. Pandelia star mark. Again, I want you to make a list of all the GST forms, whatever is there in your syllabus. Is it okay? All of you are clear? है ना? Then deemed approval of application, this we will see in some time. Whenever there is no communication from the department, we directly bachcho say that it is deemed or approved by the department. I'll repeat. If there is no communication from the department, we will deemed or assume that the application has been approved. Is it okay? Can we go ahead? Chalo. We discuss what bachcho case when everything was okay. We'll now discuss the case when everything is not okay. Okay? Sure, let's check. Whether the documents, everything is found in order. That means is he satisfied? Rent agreement, identification documents, your certificate of incorporation or any registration documents, or if there is a mismatch, happens. This stupidity is always there. Okay? The name is not matching. So many times. I mean, even at my home address, the earlier one, index 2, there is something which you call as index 2 for the flat. You might have heard of 712, na? 712 or 712. That is for land, and for house there is index 2. The details in index 2, the details on electricity bill, the details on that municipal corporation, what do you have, property tax bill, all details mismatch. Either surname wrong, or flat number wrong, or floor wrong. Okay? It was an old flat, and then people at various times had registered with this electricity department or municipal taxes, etc. So not matching at all. So I used to have lots of problem in passport, and I wanted a passport bacho with proper flat number and proper floor number and proper building number, building name, and it was my address only. My address means my parents. The property is owned by parents. So I did a simple jugaad, simple logic. I said. So I looked at the website of passport, and they said a rent agreement is also valid. Rent agreement is also valid. That also unregistered rent agreement is also valid. Unregistered. Just the notarized is okay. You don't have to register it online. So I said, I did, that is the best document. Because all my property documents, property tax, electricity department, electricity bill, as well as index 2, they were not having the perfect address. And then when person actually checks documentation, he's going to check flat number, floor number with the actual document. So I did not want that mismatch. So I did simple, create a new rent agreement only between parents and me. So for the purpose of documentation. And this happens all the time. Okay, that documents are having mismatched names. So whatever, if officer has some doubt or officer wants some clarification, okay, he is not going ahead with the registration. Okay, it got approved. Yeah. The only thing that police verification, they said, is it your address only? I said, yes, it is my mother's flat only. They said, why are you giving, why did you enter into red? She was surprised. You are staying on rent with your parents. I said, for income tax purposes. But what had we done in income tax? Tell me. That we had done that also. That logical tax planning also we discussed. HRA, remember or no? HRA. As long as you are not staying in your own house and you are paying rent for residential purpose, you can claim HRA. Point number 1. Or ATGG. अरे हाँ या ना? घर. Isn't it? It's like, okay, this and that. So, okay. She did not understand. Forget that. But got it. हाँ इंद्रजीत, correct. Done. Can you go ahead, everybody? Those idiots want birth certificate also. I was trying to search, find. No, original birth certificate. And a school leaving certificate. No. I have all the Aadhaar. No, birth certificate they want. I'm like, from where I find now? So something that was also a headache. Anyways, fine. Let's go ahead, everybody. If the officer is not happy with the documentation, proper officer issues notice electronically. Now, obviously, use common sense. We are in the electronic age. Now, when you go from negotiable instrument to GST, tell me, such a big leap you are taking, है ना? Such a big gap. है कि नहीं, Mansi? Where you cut the note in half and one half note is sent, है ना? And the other party asks for other half and you don't send the other half. Then is it a endorsement or is it a delivery or not delivery? Seriously. And now, bachcho, here we have electronic. Okay. So the communication is done, bachcho. Communication, bachcho, is done electronically. Okay. So within, pay attention, when proper officer issues notice electronically. So within seven working days from application submission date, thereby asking clarification. Okay. Understand? Means if there is Aadhaar authentication done, pay attention. If there is Aadhaar authentication done, then within 7 days, the officer needs to raise a query or a notice. Okay. Seeking clarification. Fine, tell you? Information or documents from the applicant. See, notice may be issued not later than 30 days from the application date in case where a person fails to undergo Aadhaar authentication or he is not opting for Aadhaar authentication. Means just understand. Or PO deems it fit to carry out site verification. That means, let us discuss about Aadhaar authentication only. If Aadhaar authentication is done, understand, now look at the diagram. I hope it is there in front of you also. If Aadhaar authentication is done or applicant is allowing Aadhaar authentication, the first communication from the officer should be within maximum 7 days. I'll repeat. If Aadhaar authentication is done, okay, or it is happening, Aadhaar authentication is happening, the first communication from the officer should be within 7 days. How? Either bachcho will accept it. Can you see on the right hand side of the diagram? Either bachcho will accept it or he will raise a query or notice. Did you understand or no? Look at the diagram. If Aadhaar authentication done, then within 7 working days, he will approve or apply. He will approve, bachcho. If he is not, then again within 7 days, he will ask for some clarification. Are you getting my point, everybody? Are hi, Anna, Akshay, Indrajit, Kushbu, Nitin, Hansi. Okay, till here. And secondly, let me again say this. Secondly, if you are not applying for Aadhaar authentication or you are not approving Aadhaar authentication, then immediately the time period available to the officer is 30 days now. Hi, Anna. Check over here. He can give also within 30 days. And here also, but you can ask or send a notice within 30 days. Not within 7 days. So you get extra time if the applicant is not approving or applying for Aadhaar authentication. Understood or no, all of it? Tell me. Clear or no? Bolo haan. Okay. Then bachcho, now he has raised a query on the applicant. Who? The officer. The applicant should bachcho furnish within 7 working days. Okay. Understand now. Within 7 working days, the applicant should reply. Okay, everybody. Whatever the query or the documents the officer has asked. If you reply within 7 working days and officer is satisfied with the documentation, okay, everybody okay till here? Then within 7 working days, the officer will give the registration number, will submit the registration number. Is it okay? If the officer is not satisfied Okay, everybody? Then officer can cancel the application, reject the application for reasons to be recorded in writing. Alright? That he asked for something and he did not give a satisfactory reply or answer. Okay? Then he may, what you can say, cancel the application or reject the application. Or the applicant did not reply only. Same thing, na? No reply or no satisfactory reply. What will happen, bacho? No reply within 7 days or no satisfactory reply, then bacho, the officer can reject the application. Clear till here? Fine? Can we go ahead, everybody? Deemed. Deemed approval of application. If officer fails to take any action in the following cases within the given time, the application for grant or rescission but shall be deemed to have been approved. Look at the diagram here. Wherever, now understand, wherever there is a communication to the officer or wherever the applicant has replied something or applied for something, we say that the ball is in the officer's court now. Okay? And if the officer does not do the work within that time given, okay, then it is a deemed approved registration. Means what? Let us look at this example. Hai? Within 7 working days from the date of receipt of information, clarification, or documents. See, in a way, purposely your officer should not or cannot withhold the application form. Means you asked the query to him and the applicant replied. Now applicant replied within 7 days. Either it is again either a yes or no. Are you getting my point, everybody? So if the officer has not said no, and the officer has also not said yes, and 7 days passed, are you getting my point or no? Officer did not say no. Officer did not say yes. Within 7 days, then it is a yes. Hi, Anna. Silence amounts to speech. Best or no? Understood, everybody? Silence amounts to speech. So here this provision is quite good overall, so that there is no delay in registration. Okay, everybody? Hi, Anna. Can we go ahead? Here also. Applicant, check here. Applicant applied for registration and no reply at all within 7 days or 30 days. 7 days if other authentication done. 30 days if other authentication not done. Hai na? Okay, everybody? Deemed approved. Automatically, what will be allowed the registration details or registration number. Check here. In case where registration is to be granted after physical verification of the premises of a person who fails to undergo other authentication or does not offer or for other authentication, or officer seems it fit to carry out physical verification. Clear till here? Does not go or does not opt for or fails other authentication, or officer thinks it is necessary but to do a physical verification. Okay? Within a period of 30 days from the date of submission of application. Look at the wordings. If the officer fails to take any action, within how many days? 30 days. Are you getting my point or no? He may have done much physical verification or he's not doing, or other authentication has failed, but he's not doing anything even for 30 days. And 30 days have elapsed. It will be what you deemed approval of application. Clear? In case of a person other than those covered above, within a period of 7 working days from the date of submission of application. Yes, Celia. In case where officer issues notice asking for clarification, same thing, within 7 working days from the date of receipt of clarification. Are you getting my point? Anything tough over here till now? All okay or no? Whenever the applicant has applied or replied, and now it is necessary for the officer to take the next process or next step, and the officer does not do within the time period given, then what should is a deemed approval case. Yes, Celia? Are हाँ? All of you okay? चलो. Look at the wordings, okay? Aadhaar authentication. As seen above, there's a simplified registration. This looks on paper simplified, है ना? No doubt. There's a simplified registration procedure under GST. As seen above, there's a simplified registration procedure under GST. However, this easy registration process was duly misused by fly-by-night operators. Fly-by-night operators means obviously बच्चों those who don't want to come under radar. Fly-by-night. In night बच्चों then nobody can trace you or check you and all of that. Okay. Thus an endeavor to curb, endeavor means efforts, curb means reduce, or check such operators and to increase compliance, Aadhaar e-KYC based registration has been introduced. It was not there in 2017. In the first year, it was not there. Aadhaar authentication is mandatory for the new applicants, whether an individual applicant or an applicant other than individual. Last week only, even I gave OTP for Aadhaar authentication for GST application because I was not registering for a GST, but a company was where I was a director. I am a director. So even if the applicant is non-individual, Aadhaar authentication is done of the KMP. Okay. In order to be eligible for grant of registration, Aadhaar authentication process has been introduced for the purposes for the person applying for any of this. That is okay. Let's go ahead, everybody. So let's do this. Person required to undergo Aadhaar authentication. Following persons are required to undergo. New applicant. So every individual applicant or even other applicant shall undergo furnish proof of possession of Aadhaar. Okay. He shall, the applicant, while submitting an application for registration, undergo authentication of Aadhaar number. Such authentication is required in order to be eligible for grant of registration. That is okay. Date of submission of application in such case shall be earlier of. Shall be earlier of. Date of authentication of Aadhaar number, when you got it. Yes, Indrajit, obviously. Date of authentication of Aadhaar number or 15 days from submission of application in Part B of Form GST RAG 01. Date of submission of such application in such case shall be earlier of. In such case, applicant is an individual, he shall undergo authentication of his own Aadhaar, no doubt. But if the applicant is other than individual, authentication will be done of Karta, MD, WDD, such other partners, members of managing committee, etc., board of trustees, authorized representative, authorized signatory, and such other notified class of persons. Just like in income tax, we had that case, who will verify or authenticate income tax return. Similarly, here, whose Aadhaar card will require in case of a non-individual applicant. Okay. Where Aadhaar number is not assigned. If Aadhaar number is not assigned to a new applicant, either an individual or person, class of persons other than individual, such individual or person shall be offered alternate and viable means of identification. Means what? You are applying for GST IN. Okay, everybody? But for some reason you don't have Aadhaar, or you've applied for Aadhaar and it is taking a little bit of more time. Okay? Check. So there is some other rules for verification. Provides where a person fails to undergo authentication of Aadhaar or does not opt for Aadhaar authentication. Doesn't opt for authentication of Aadhaar number, or the PO, check now, proper officer, with the approval of an officer authorized by commissioner, not below the rank of assistant commissioner, deems it fit to carry out physical verification. The registration shall be granted within 30 days of submission of application, only after physical verification of the principal place of business. Okay. in presence of the said person, in front of the, or you can say with the applicant, physical verification must be done, and verification of such documents as the proper officer may deem fit. Nothing great. Further, in such cases, that is where a person fails to undergo other authentication. But again, within 30 days, बच्चों, we have to give him बच्चों what? Application. No. Same example you have done in diagram only. Same thing. Okay. People exempt from other authentication. Okay, ready? Persons who are not a citizen of India, because other is not compulsory on them. Department of state government or central government, local authority, statutory body, and a government, any of the departments, public sector undertaking, a person applying for UIN. Which one UIN, bachcho? For United Nations only, na? Foreign embassies and consulates, correct? Time pass, this is all time pass. Check. In the diagram, we had seen that in part number B, we cover bank details. है ना? In part B, bank account details are required. Rule 10A relaxes this requirement to a limited extent. Okay, bank details. In person of the same, the registered person is allowed to furnish information with respect to details of banks soon after obtaining GSTIN, but not later than 45 days. Something much similar like in Companies Act. You are first allowed to register the company, and then after registration of company, bacho, or incorporation of company within 30 days, you need to furnish proof of your address. Remember in section 12 we had seen Companies Act. Similarly here, whenever you are applying for GSTIN, that time you are a little bit relaxed. Let us say you are having voluntary registration or any other registration. You are relaxed from giving the bank details if you don't have. So you will be given a GSTIN, and whenever you are given GSTIN, but after that within 45 days, you need to submit your bank details. Okay. The verification report, look at this. Whenever the verification is done of the premises, along with other documents, including photographs, shall be uploaded in the prescribed form on the common portal within a period of 15 working days following the verification, so that everyone has the knowledge what verification has been carried out at what place. You have seen a bachcho, maybe in city area also whenever the traffic police, have you seen the traffic police car, or not car, traffic police truck comes to pick up the vehicles, have you seen? And when these people come to pick up the vehicles, what they do? They take a proper video only as an evidence. Hey, nahi bachcho? Have you seen that or no? Not Atikraman is different. That extension is, that is, encroachment is different. I'm talking about vehicles picked up from no parking zone. Hai na? Those no parking area. I'm talking of that. So when they get down from the truck to pick up the vehicles, two-wheelers, they take video. Okay, why? As an evidence. Yeah, true. Okay, everybody, can we go ahead, all of you? So again, time pass, nothing great. Where application for grant of registration has been approved, everything is okay now. A certificate of registration duly signed or verified through EVC by the proper your electronic verification code, forget that, by proper officer in form number GST REG 06, showing principal place of business and additional place of business, is made available to the applicant on the common portal, and GST identification number, okay, is communicated to the applicant within 3 days of grant of registration. So actual number which you will get what in 3 days of registration. Is it okay, everybody? But on the common portal, APOB was what, bacho? Additional place of business. PPOB was what? Principal place of business. Principal place means, let us say in your normal language, head office, main office. Additional places of business means what? Your branch offices. Clear? Star mark this is important practically also. That is the reason, but you will always see GSTIN number in front of or before, है ना? At the entry of every office or every shop, you will see this display of, just like when you go to a restaurant, you will see a food license displayed, or any shop, but you will always see a shop at license displayed. Similarly, when GSTIN is displayed compulsorily. Okay. So display of ration certificate and GSTIN on the name board. Okay. Every registered person shall display his registration certificate in a prominent location at his PPOB as well as every additional place of business. Every business what units what he has to display his GSTIN. Okay. Then GSTIN also has to be displayed on the name board exhibited at entry of his PPOB and at every APOB. Same thing. Okay. Clear, Delia? That is person coming to visit you. They should be able to see that GSTIN easily, promptly, quickly. है ना? It should be displayed. Clear? Read बच्चों. Read both these examples. Read.
Recording stopped.
Ready? All of you?
Recording in progress.
Effective date of registration, very, 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 very important. Same thing. A little bit of concept we did just now sometime back about backdated application or backdated effective from backdated date. Okay. When an applicant submits application for registration, the effective date of registration is effective. Okay, it is effective in what date? From what date? If the application is submitted within 30 days from the date on which he becomes liable to be registered, है ना? Liable to be registered. So I can say 22 or 24. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Clear? Within how many days? 30 days. So that is what you can say in a way normally within due date or within time period. Clear? Then whenever he gets the certificate, whenever Bachu gets a certificate, okay? Now normally, ideally, can I say within 7 days you get the certificate of application? Normally. You applied, everything is okay, other authentication, but everything is done. So what I'm saying, within 7 days, next 7 days, you should get the registration certificate, है ना बच्चों? GST, IN, etc. Okay, fine. So there was a day or a date on which you cross the threshold limit, or there is a date in which already you are doing interstate, section 24, or whatever it is applicable. That is the cause, that is the reason because of which you are registering. Let us take simple example of crossing of threshold limit, the most common one. So someday, but your turnover crossed, let us say 20 lakhs. Okay, good services or whatever services. Now from that day, you have next 30 days to apply. Now you may apply immediately next day or within 7 days or 10 days. Now whenever you will apply, after that within 7 days, you should get the registration certificate. Now between this time, the date you crossed your turnover threshold limit, clear? And the date when you have actually received the certificate, there can be gap or no gap. then बच्चों will be obviously will be a gap. Now I can't compulsorily apply if my turnover is 19 lakh 50,000. Hi Anna. I'll have to show the officer, see, this is the turnover, this is the bank entry, this is the bank statement. Because of this, I am crossing the threshold limit. Hi Anna बच्चों. So first I'll have to wait for to cross the threshold limit, na बच्चों. If I'm taking compulsory registration. After that, बच्चों, I'll apply. And after that, again 7 or 8 days, it'll take minimum to get the certificate. Clearly here? Between this time, the question is whether you are liable or not liable to charge a GST. What do you think, बच्चों? Are you a taxable person or no? What was taxable person? Do you remember what was taxable person? Important discussion I'm doing now. Very good, Nitin. Good answer. Person registered or person liable to be registered. Very good answer. Good. That but we call it as a taxable person. So here, once you have crossed your threshold limit, turnover limit, है ना? Are you a taxable person? Yes. That means should you levy GST, charge GST? Yes. On even 1 rupee sale after 20 lakhs. हाँ ना? As soon as you cross the threshold limit, you are liable to charge GST. But one law also I told you, one important thing also I told you. It is illegal to collect GST unless you are registered. हाँ ना? It is illegal to collect GST unless you are registered. So now you are in some kind of a problem or a fix issue. What issue? What problem? That you have crossed the turnover limit. You are supposed to collect taxes, but you don't have GST registration number. कुछ भी okay here. You applied. Okay, so basically you applied for the GST registration number. And when you actually get it, okay, that time that GST registration number बच्चों is now effective. Is effective from the date on which you are liable to be registered. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? All of you tell me. Akshay can reply on everyone, but I can't see the messages. The DM तो नहीं आ रहा पहली बात तो. I can't see the DMs of everybody. I can see only of Nitin. And you can reply in everyone otherwise. Okay. Then check. What are we saying? The certificate, the GST certificate, bachcho, is liable from which date? Or you can say is effective from which date? The date on which he becomes liable to registration. Is it okay? Okay, Akshay. Yeah. Okay. The date on which he becomes liable to registration. Yes, Celia. We have a good example. Obviously, let us check. Okay. Okay. Check example 19. Sugam Services Limited. Services. Look at the word services. Is engaged in taxable supply of services in Madhya Pradesh. The turnover of Sugam exceeded 20 lakhs on 1st November. Fine. That means 1st November plus 30 days, you can say 1st December. Hi, na? So it is liable to be registered by 1st December. Registered means bachcho, apply for the certificate. Apply. Clear? In the state of in Madhya Pradesh. It applies for registration on 28th November within due date. Within 30 days, yes. And gets the certificate bachcho on 5th November. Now the issue is, if at all you understood, all the supply bachcho whichever is doing as such from 1st November or from 2nd November onwards, है ना, till 5th December, है कि नहीं? There is a gap in those sales or gap of GST in those sales. The sale done from 1st November to 5th December. Are you all following me or no? Does he have GST number from 1st November till 5th December? No. Is he liable to charge? Yes. Does he have GST? No. Okay? That's why. That is the reason the bachcho registration is you can say what? Applicable from, or you can say effective from 1st November itself. The date on which he became liable to be registered. Clear? So what is to be done about that? That we will see in the next chapter. Invoices, etc. Okay? Just let me just quickly touch upon that also. All the invoices raised from 1st November to 5th December will be all regular normal invoices which he used to raise. Okay? Once he actually gets the certificate, GST certificate, then what you'll have to issue for that period revised invoices. Kuch samjha? All of you? He'll have to again reissue, you can say, but revised invoices for the period between for the invoices बच्चों between 1st November to 5th December. Okay everybody. Next one. ये बच्चों he applies after 30 days from the date of registration, है ना? Then the certificate which is applicable from the date of grant of registration only. Okay? The other parties बच्चों will not be able to claim ITC, na? So the benefit is what? As such, when you get registered and you are in business, especially B2B you understand, na? Business to business, then you are always preferred if you have registration number, because you can forward or you can basically give the ITC to the next person. हाँ या ना बच्चों? Done till here, all of you? In the same above example, if Sugam applies for registration बच्चों on 3rd December, when was his last date? 1st December, na? He applied on 3rd December and is granted certificate on 10th December. But his certificate will be effective only from 10th December. Like I said, already please give your 3-star mark. Is again important, most important. Again, basic questions. I mean, basic. This is the basic knowledge or basic thing you should always know. Okay? Can you go ahead, everybody? Examples of ICA, so I tell you, है ना? You have to do them all of them in detail. Determine the effective date of registration under CGST. Determine the effective date of registration under CGST in respect of following cases with proper explanation. ठीक है? The aggregate turnover of, don't look at the answer. The aggregate turnover of Varun of Mumbai has exceeded 40 lakhs on 1st August. Varun manufactures LED TVs in Mumbai and sells them in Pune, intrastate. It submits the application for registration on 20th August. Registration certificate was granted on 25th August. Any problem with बच्चों? When is it applicable from? 1st August itself? हाँ या ना? Because he's dealing बच्चों completely in goods. So turnover limit, you have to give the entire story, 40 lakhs. Then within 30 days he has to apply. Has he applied? Yes. Because बच्चों has applied within 30 days. Now whenever he gets the certificate, it is effective from the date of becoming liable. Date of becoming liable for registration is what? 1st August. Clear? Simple. Sweta. Infotech services is the provider of internet services in Pune. Its aggregate turnover exceeds 20 lakhs on 25th of September. It submits application for registration on 27th October. Gone. Not within 30 days. The registration certificate is granted on 5th November. And it is effective then from which date? 25th of September, 27th October or 5th November? Its answer is what? 5th November. Yes or no? Agreed with all of you? Agreed? Good. Entire big story they have given, where what all threshold limits are applicable. Okay? Three-star. CTP, NRTP. Okay? Ready? CTP, NRTP. What are CTP? A taxable person not having a fixed place of business in India. Fixed place of business. Okay? NRTP doesn't have only any place of business fixed place of business in India. CTP also same. But at least he is Indian. Sure. Meaning, CTP. There may be case where a person, pay attention now, important, where a person has a registered business in some state in India but wants to effect supplies from some other state in which he does not have any fixed place of business. Such person needs to register in the state from where he seeks to supply as a casual taxable person. Means bacho, in a way you are going to that particular state, you know, and supplying. Have you heard about India tour or world tour of the artists? है कि नहीं, all of you? India tour, have you heard? Acha. Which examples we have that heard? Or let us say Rambo Circus. Simple. Rambo Circus. Have you heard of Rambo Circus? So if it is again registered, obviously it will be registered. But let us say, it has one main location. It was shown, but they need to travel or not for their supply. They want to generate income from visiting that particular location. Hi, Anna, isn't it? So they want to effect supplies. It can be anything, na, goods or services. Or let us say a wholesaler, they want to supply in a particular state, some other state, arrange a big exhibition and dump all the material over there. So wants to effect supplies from other state. Okay, so they want to travel to that location and supply from there locally. So basically, instead of doing interstate, understand, instead of doing interstate, they want to travel or they want to go in that state and do a supply. Understood or not, everybody? Hi, Anna. Okay. See, as it is now, but we have seen what? In GST, where is the tax revenue shared? The consuming state, the destination state. So even if you do interstate or you go in that state and supply, the revenue bacho is going to be supplied, the revenue is going to be shared with the consuming state, isn't it? Do you remember this or no? Yeah? Can you go ahead, everybody? Chalo. Such person needs to register in the state from where he seeks to supply as a casual. So wherever he is there, wherever he is, his main original or the original location, from there he will apply to be a CTP for another state. He's applying to be a CTP for another state. So CGST Act defines a CTP as a person who occasionally undertakes, occasionally, understand, not regularly, transaction involving supply of goods or services or both, in the course or furtherance of business. Yes, Celia? Whether as a principal or even agent for that matter, है ना? He's supplying on behalf of somebody else or in any other capacity, in a state or UT where he has no fixed place of business. Finally, further, he cannot exercise the option to pay tax under composition scheme. You first of all have to understand composition scheme. That time you'll understand that better. Okay? But composition scheme is not allowed. Chalega? Chalo. Krishnadev and company engaged in supplying taxable goods is registered in Rajasthan. It wishes to participate. Understand now. In 5 days business exhibition being held in Delhi. Do you understand the exhibition now? And a display of items. However, it does not have a fixed place of business in Delhi. But they want to be part of exhibition so that they can make a supply for 5 days. Na? Are you getting my point or no? Yes? They will take their items with them. Okay? However, it does not have a fixed place of business in Delhi. In this case, Krishnadev and company has to obtain registration as a casual taxable person in or for Delhi. Can you go ahead, everybody? Chalo. NRTP. Like I said, both are important. CTP and NRTP both are important. Same logic. They don't have a principal place of business in India itself. At least CTP has one location, but other locations are not fixed. Hai? A person who is a foreigner and occasionally wants to effect taxable supplies from any state in India needs GST registration for the same. Such person needs to register in the state from where he seeks to supply as a non-resident taxable person. What is NRTP? Again, who occasionally undertakes transactions involving supply of goods or services both, whether as a principal or agent or in any other capacity. But he has no fixed place of business or services or residence in India. Yes, Celia? Again, not allowed to take composition scheme. CTP has at least something, fixed place. Correct, Ilya? And NRTP person does not have any fixed place in India at all. Again, important. Look at this understanding also. CTP has to undertake transaction in course or furtherance of his own business, whereas business test is absent in the definition of NRTP. Okay, in the course or furtherance of business, no. It may be some other supply also. Okay, but still he needs to be registered. Special registration provisions of casual taxable and NRTP. But this is the only, these are the only categories of people right now, at least what we have in syllabus, who need to take in advance the registration before they want to start supply, who need to pay advance tax, advance GST, but it means, okay, advance GST before they can even start supplying. Okay, they need to deposit the tax amount, bacho. Because they don't have a fixed place of business in India or in the same state, it is difficult to trace them. So we take from them, bacho, what? An advance estimated tax amount. Clear to all of you? Yes? अच्छा आदित्य, गुड इवनिंग आदित्य. आहेस का तिकडं ऑनलाईन? Can you go ahead, everybody? Okay, where were we? GST law prescribes special provisions for registration as also for extension of the operation period. अच्छा तुम हो आदित्य, okay, how are you? Extension of the operation period of such casual or NRTP. Pay attention, first of all. They have to apply for registration, important. Apply at least 5 days in advance before making any supply. Also, registration is granted to them or period of operation is extended only, first of all, registration will be given to them only after they make advance deposit of the estimated tax liability. Star mark this. They'll have to deposit the tax amount. Or Aditya, chutti, today holiday. The special registration procedure for CTB and NRTP is as follows. Ready? Both CTB and NRTP have to compulsorily get registered under GST irrespective of the threshold limit at least 5 days prior to the commencement of business. But so in CTB, but was there a kind of exemption for handicraft goods? Was it there? And I think you can check that again in that earlier case, okay? Handicraft, that turnover limit, okay? I'm good, Aditya. I'm good. काय खास बाकी काय विशेष? Next one, ready? Check. At least 5 days before the commencement of business. Minimum 5 days before, okay? Compulsorily get registered. Okay, Aditya. As per 25(6), every person must have a PAN to be eligible for registration. But NRTP, we can't force him to have a PAN. But since NRTP will generally not have a PAN, he may be granted registration on the basis of other documents like passport, etc. Important. This was asked as a exemption, as a question. Okay, Aditya. Okay, tell all of you. The NRTP has to submit a self-attested copy of valid passport, है ना? Along with the application signed by his authorized signatory who is Indian resident having valid PAN. Okay? No, but the passport is for individual only, not for company. है ना? Just like Aadhaar is for an individual, natural person. However, in case of business entity, incorporated or established outside India, the application for registration shall be submitted along with the tax identification number. It is like bacho PAN equivalent. PAN equivalent. If that entity is a foreign entity who wants to do some business temporarily in India, okay, then that entity must be registered in that own country, na. So something which is PAN equivalent of that country, that needs to be submitted. Okay, PAN equivalent. 7,000 subscribers. Thank you, Aditya. Almost. I think 1 or 2 are remaining. कल हो गया था 7,000. आज फिर से 2 लोगों ने अनसब्सक्राइब भी कर लिया. एनीवेज, चलना अपन चालू करते COD फिर से रात को. Okay, everybody. So, because passport is not there of NRTP, if you are again a business entity, so you need to, okay, then you need to what? Apply, but you also submit what? Submit your tax identification number or a unique number on the basis of which the entity is identified by the government of that country. Or if they have PAN, तो best. चलेगा आदित्य आज today we can. Or it's PAN if available. Done till here, all of you? Application for NRTP is different and for CTP is the same. GST RG 01. Okay? That is okay. And obviously CTP is PAN based only. Alright, everybody? Is it okay? This self-attested, please pay attention. Self-attested passport is important. And again, his agent in India will also provide a valid PAN, bachcho. Because income tax is also important na, for us. Check here. The applicant was signed by his authorized signatory who is Indian resident having a valid PAN. Okay, done Aditya. Done. Suicide squad, है ना? Can you go ahead, everybody? चलो. Period of validity and resident certificate granted to CTP and NRTP. This is not permanent, बच्चों. तेरे पास अकाउंट है कि नहीं बहुत सारे. Now CTP and NRTP, the reason is itself is what? Temporary. Okay, temporary ration number. They have come for 5 days visit, 1 day, 1 month visit maximum, or a small event, some event. Yes, that's why the ration is also temporary. Clear till here? Plus, we are taking tax from them in advance. Clear? All right. So, ration certificate granted to CTP or NRTP will be valid for important period specified in the ration application, 7 days, 10 days, 5 days, 15 days, or maximum 90 days. 10 days from the effective date of registration. It can be extended further by maximum again 90 days by making an application before the end of validity of the registration granted to him. Bouncer or understood? See, what can be the maximum tenure? 90 days. Okay? And if at all you feel as an applicant, as a businessman, that 90 days is falling short, then before that 90 days falls short, or before expiring of 90 days, you can again reapply for an extension of again maximum 90 days. Understood or no? All of you? Are hi, na? Clear till here? Okay, but use again, logic that you need to pay tax in advance. Keep that in mind always, है ना? So even before your first registration also, you have to pay tax. And now again, if you ask for extension, again you have to pay tax, huh? Even for extension. Understood or no? Advance deposit of tax. Ready? At the time of submitting of registration, they have to pay advance deposit of tax in an amount equivalent to the estimated tax liability. Okay? Further, CTP NRTP will get a TRN for making an advance deposit of tax, which shall be credited to his electronic cash ledger. What is that? You will understand later on. Okay? Payment of taxes. You will understand later on. An acknowledgement of receipt of application for is issued only after the said deposit. Okay, an acknowledgement of receipt of application for registration is issued only after the said deposit. That means your work will not start before that. Okay, check here again, important, where extension is asked, है ना, they'll have to deposit an additional amount of tax, बच्चों, equivalent to the estimated tax liability of the further tax period, further extended time tax period. Are you getting my point or no? When you're applying for extension, Then for the extended period, what is your again further estimated tax liability? Again that you have to deposit in advance. Done? Understood here, all of you? Yeah? Okay. And deemed registration. Registration under GST is not tax specific. This we have done. So if you register under CGST, that means you are getting registered under all the other taxes. Okay. So nothing great. So grant or registration UN under any is if the act is deemed to be registered under CGST Act also. Okay. For the rejection of application under one act is also deemed to be registration of application of other acts also. Okay. Rejection of application for registration under CGST Act also. Done. So nothing great. Okay. You are not taking act specific or tax specific. Done till here, all of you? Question number 1. Come to 7.79. Ready? Determine the effective date of registration in the following cases. The aggregate turnover of Dhampur Footwear Industries of Delhi has exceeded applicable threshold limit of 40 lakhs on 1st September. They applied on 20th September, got the certificate on 25th September बच्चों. फर्स्ट सितंबर. ठीक है. Mehta Teleservices is an architect in Lucknow, aggregate turnover 20 lakhs on 25th October. They applied same example, exactly same, like this people are. Answer is 5th December. ठीक है. In order to be eligible for grant of registration, one person must have PAN. One person bachcho is exempted from it, NRTP. But for NRTP, then what is required? Self-attested copy of valid passport along with the application should be signed by his authorized representative, Indian resident, who is having PAN. Okay. Question number 3. State which of the following suppliers are liable to be registered? Are liable. Agent supplying taxable goods on behalf of some other taxable person and its aggregate turnover does not exceed applicable threshold limit during the financial year, section number 24, clear cut given. Yes or no? So even if agent's turnover has not crossed 20 or 40 lakhs, let us say whatever goods, okay, but he's supplying on behalf of a taxable person, registered person, then even but agent needs to be registered. An agriculturist, 22, 23. Let us check. Who is only engaged in supply of produce out of cultivation land and his aggregate turnover exceeds the limit, not liable. So here bachcho is liable and here not liable. Yes, still here? Clear, no, all of you? Fifth, we are done. What will be your answer in the question 4? Pure Oils, these people, supplies the high-speed diesel in Delhi in the capacity of an agent of mixed oils. Then bachcho, yes, because mixed oils, where is mixed oils now? Where is mixed oils emitted? Is it there or not there? Who is mixed oils? Has he given some question? But where do you see mixed oil in question number 4? अच्छा ठीक है, but mixed oils बच्चों should be registered. Then as an agent even you have to be registered. हाँ है ना? Check, but pay attention. Are you doing taxable supply? But no. Check question number 5. Are you doing taxable supply? Check. In case pure oils make supply and capacity of an agent of mixed oils. Section 24, so we have done, bachcho. Who is engaged in making taxable supplies of goods on behalf of other taxable person shall be liable to obtain registration, irrespective whether its turnover limit has crossed or no. However, important, if pure oils is supplying high speed diesel on behalf of mixed oils as an agent, it is still not liable. But why? Because it is not making a supply of taxable goods. Okay. So section 24 comes into picture only if they are making supply of taxable goods. Okay. So even if you are supplying as an agent of the principal and the principal is registered, you are an agent, principal is registered, then normally as per section 24 you have to be registered. But as an agent you are supplying non-taxable goods, then you need not be registered. Yes, still here, all of you? Clear? Are हाँ. Give a star mark to that question, all of you. Thirteen, allowed, not allowed? Tell me, bachcho. Can an officer suo moto? Suo moto means on his own. Proceed to register a person under GST? Tell me, yes or no? Yes. And what can the person do? Next person do, bachcho. He can either accept, that means apply normally, or appeal under the appellate authority. Today only we did, na bachcho? है कि नहीं? Whether registration granted to any person is permanent? No. Example, CTP and NRTP 90 days. हाँ है ना? Clear? Done till here, all of you? What is the validity period of registration, बच्चों? To CTP and NRTP 90 plus 90. है ना? I mean 90 or whatever applied for, whichever is lower. And then again, if he wants, he wishes, he's applying for further extension of 90 days. Okay, everybody? That is it for today, right now. Okay? One more lecture required, then we'll finish this chapter also. Okay, everybody? Registration. Overall, GST, I told you, is lots of, not, I did not tell you, but I think, yeah, we discussed. GST, lots of theory. Okay, theory oriented is lots of there. I told you also 10 to 12 marks. 12 marks, but you can expect as practical, but remaining are all theory, procedure part. है ना? Clear, everybody? And honestly, students at final level also tell me, but final level, that sir, there is not major difference between inter and final level GST. Not major difference. Okay, obviously complexity is there, but still I think around 60 or 60% gets covered, or whatever you're doing at inter. Okay, just a little bit of level, it will increase at final level also for GST, because comparatively it is a newer law. So this, what you can say, litigation, case studies, case laws are quite less comparatively. That everybody? Yeah. See, as it is, papers are getting reduced, so that is a good thing. In future, I'm talking about articleship may be reduced, good thing. So take the advantage, है ना? Whatever levels whatever is expected, understand that. You fulfill the expectation of ICA, then obviously you will get good marks. Today only we saw in the law paper, law paper we discussed of November 22. If at all you could answer after the syllabus, at least you could find out the concept of was which chapter, which concept was there. I don't think so it was that difficult to trace or to find it was of which chapter. At least for all of you, at least I thought. You know? So if you do that level of studies properly and again revise nicely, then it is not tough for you to score good marks. You know? Above 60 is very much possible, isn't it? But a regular studies is essential. Okay, regular continuous studies is essential. Don't lose track, don't lose a rhythm in this. Okay, the tempo of studies. All right, Lilia? So that's it for today under GST.
Recording stopped.
Finally, all of you. इंद्रजीत 6:30 बजे. ओके, आज 6:30 बजे. हाँ बोलो नितिन. टैक्स कैसे याद रखे? जितना पढ़ोगे उतना कम है ऑनेस्टली। वी आर सॉल्विंग ये प्रैक्टिस, रोज पढ़ो ना, फिर रोज बस प्रोविजन पढ़ो, मैं तो कहता हूँ ध्यान से, अच्छे से। पढ़ने के लिए मत पढ़ो। अपना टेक्स्ट बुक किया तो भी मतलब तुमको प्रोविजन तो याद हो जाएगा, काफ़ी हो गया उतना। हाँ, अब मैंने यूट्यूब वालों को बाय बाय किया, यूट्यूब वालों बाय बाय। यूट्यूब वालों लाइक कर दिया करो वीडियो को, कमेंट कर दिया करो। ओके, ऑल ऑफ द यूट्यूबर्स। हाँ।